He's been picked out. Socks down to his ankle. Picks out Stansfield. That's the hat-trick. And that's what dreams are made of.
Hello everybody and welcome along to this festive edition of Park Life, the official Exeter City podcast. It's not long now until the big day, a time when families gather together. One might dress up in red and white, one might sing some special songs and celebrate. I am of course talking about Boxing Day, every football fan's favourite day of the year. We've also got games on both sides of Christmas, so there's plenty of football for you to enjoy over the festive period. To preview those three games today, I'm joined by Park Live regulars Sam Parks and Mikhail Shklover before City forward Yannick Wilshere answers some of your questions. We'll then finish with a Christmas quiz where Sam and Michael will face off against each other as they answer questions about City's 2023. Let's get straight into it. Sam, Michael, welcome to Park Life. Us three linking up together again feels an awful lot like an old podcast we used to do, doesn't it? But nostalgia aside, thanks to both of you for joining me. We're edging closer to the end of this year, 2023. Just three more matches to be played before the start of 2024, but it's not over quite yet. 9 points up for grabs, and we want to get as many as we possibly can. Sam, I'll come to you first. We were both at Stevenage last weekend and we saw a pretty varied game at the Lamex, I think that's fair to say. A first half that was probably best to forget and a second half which was simply remarkable. Just talk to me through your thoughts on last Saturday.
Well, it was a crazy game. The first half was poor. The red card, obviously not a good point, and then to concede straight after, an awful way to cap off a half of football. But the second half was really positive, true spirit. I think Wildshirt was great off the bench, Rankine linking up nicely as well. And, they grabbed that goal and the boys showed real heart. They defended so solidly. I think Czech Diabate was my man of the match. And I've seen fans, Tom, you yourself, raving about him on Twitter. He was absolutely brilliant. So, it was one of those draws where you walk away and think, okay, this team has turned a corner and it looks really strong. And that second half was really good.
Michael, just another reflection on Saturday. A brilliant point at the perfect time against really good opposition away from home. That's all you can ask for, right?
It's a massive result because, all of us had big hopes for Port Vale at home. We spoke about it on last episode of the Grecian cast. Didn't quite happen at St. James Park. But it certainly to an extent happened at Stevenage. And some of the players you mentioned, I'm going to have to agree. Wilson Asalo, Czech Diabate, Yannick Wildshirt. It's the players we spoke about. We spoke about how Wildshirt's improved in November, how he was one of the bright sparks for Exeter City in recent home games. And he obviously made a massive impact off the bench at Stevenage. And Czech Diabate, we spoke about how we're surprised to see him as a striker, how difficult it is for him to come back after the injury. And now we see him as a centre-back where he belongs, where he can show his level. And he's delivering. He's delivering at the right time. And Wilson Asal, you mentioned him as well. I'm going to have to agree. He kept the point for Exeter City late in the game. And a point that I think Exeter City deserved. You spoke about it a lot, Tom, and a lot of people have. Exeter, they've shown character. And now the big few games are coming up in a very tight and condensed schedule.
A huge point and a really good performance, and one that I think will give them confidence going into Friday's game against Cambridge. I think they'll refuse to leave without 3 points. It's one of those where the confidence that they built from Saturday is going to be so huge going into a real crucial game away to Cambridge.
Definitely, Tom. We talk about 6 pointers. We mention them a lot, and they are a big thing in League One. Obviously, the latest 6 pointer against Port Vale didn't quite happen, but this is another one. Cambridge United is only 5 points ahead of Exeter City in the table with a game in hand. So I can't understate how big this is of a game. And then Wycombe right after, even closer to Exeter City in the table, just 4 points away. So these are 6 pointers in a tight schedule before Christmas. And we spoke about this about a lot of games, but this is another 6 pointer.
Yeah, and Sam, let's just focus in on Cambridge a little bit more. They've had a pretty turbulent first half of the season. Long-term manager Mark Bonner, he's left the club, been replaced by former Cardiff, Millwall, Gillingham coach Neil Harris. They've just come off a great win against Blackpool. They're going to be really tough opponents for City on Friday.
Yeah, look, I didn't know what to think about their new managerial appointment, but so far it's worked. You know, they picked up a big 3 points against Blackpool last time out. That's a really good win at the Abbey for them, and they'll look to do the same on Friday night. It's going to be a tough match for City. You know, the supposed new manager bounce is probably still in effect for Cambridge, and they are playing good football at the moment. But you know, hopefully that second half will buoy City on, and you know, hopefully they can go grab the 3 points because it's a big match, and running into the packed Christmas schedule, they're going to want a win, and that could do, you know, the world of good for the confidence of the team.
Yeah, well, we certainly hope so. And after Cambridge, Wycombe, a side that visit the park on Boxing Day. Can City deliver them a knockout blow, Michael, on Boxing Day?
I think so, Tom. As always, optimistic as ever. But Boxing Day is a big one. I know you, Tom, are a big fan of home boxing games.
I certainly
You
am.
always hope for Exeter City to get a home fixture for the 26th of December. But I think, of course, Exeter City can do it. I mean, I mentioned it already. Wycombe is one of the teams that are beatable at the moment. I mean, it's a team Exeter did beat on match day one back in August. So I think so. I mean, Sam mentioned it right. The game against Cambridge would be important going into Wycombe at home. But yeah, I think Exeter definitely got a chance in this game.
You mentioned the 3-0 from the start of the season, one of the best performances of the season. But Wycombe are a pretty difficult team to play against. Their away form has actually been pretty good. They've only lost one of their last 7 in all competitions. They're a side that certainly travel well and get points on the road when they do.
Definitely. I mean, they did lose to Barnsley in November, but this month, a big point away at Derby, which is always not an easy ground to play in at all. So I see this going either way, and I think it'll be quite an even game. But
Yeah,
definitely with chances in this for City.
Yeah, for sure. Sam, they've stuck by Matt Bloomfield, and it seems to be paying off. I mean, at the start of the season, it didn't look too good for them, but they've stuck by Matt Bloomfield, and it seems to be the right decision. You mentioned that point against Derby, Michael. You feel like that is another one of those results that is going to breed confidence, especially because that goal from Wycombe was scored so late on against the Rams.
Yeah, look, it's been a turbulent season for Wycombe. You know, they've had injuries to deal with. Setting off the season on the way they did is never good. And, you know, questions over Bloomfield have now been extinguished, but I guess they're still kind of present within the fan base. So it's going to be an interesting one. I think it's going to be a very even game. But, you know, City could nick that 3 points, but, you know, you've still got to be wary of Wycombe. At the end of the day, they're a good team. Lots of League One experience, Wycombe Wanderers. And City, you know, they'll give it their best, but they've still got to be wary of the threat that Wanderers could prove.
Yeah, and it's a heavy one. We'll have to see how City get on. Big game on Boxing Day, though. I'm certainly looking forward to it. And then just a few days later, we stay at the Park. Pompey, top of the league by 7 points. Portsmouth are a great side. We know that. We'll have to be at our best to beat them, won't we, Sam?
Yeah, look, I did Pompey away at the start of the season and didn't think they were the greatest team in the league, but, you know, they've come on leaps and bounds. It's been an unbelievable season for Pompey, losing, I think, one game in the league all season. Absolutely unbelievable. And City, they'll have to be at their very, very best if they want to get anything from this game. It's doable. You know, anyone can beat anyone in this league, but out of the 3 games, I think Pompey's the one that, you know, fans won't go into thinking, okay, we're grabbing 3 points here.
Well, we'll see, won't we? I mean, it may be one of those that you would take a point from. But, Michael, how do City get something from that game against a side that's flying as high as Portsmouth are?
Yeah, I think it's always important how the previous games will happen because let's say, theoretically, Exeter City get a good result off Cambridge and get a good result at home against Wycombe. I think at that point, the pressure will be off Exeter City a little bit if that takes place, and perhaps they can enter the tie against Portsmouth a bit more relaxed. But if the opposite happens and Exeter City struggle in the first 2 games, then I think the game against Portsmouth will be more difficult. But if you ask me how Exeter City can get the result, I would say stick to the character that they showed against Stevenage. Fight for the balls, look for the chances. because chances come against every team. Portsmouth attack well. Portsmouth will get a lot of the chances. I mean, if we look at their last game against Shrewsbury, they had loads of the chances. They had 15 shots in that game and obviously came away with 3 goals. But they also allow other teams to attack. And Exeter City, we know they can break well on the counters. And at Stevenage, they showed that they can finish as well. So the tactic would be wait for the chance, be patient, but also be confident at the back. But as I said, the games beforehand will be crucial. And if Exeter City can get a result there, they can enter the tie with more confidence and maybe a bit more relaxed as well.
Well, we'll have to see, won't we? Well, Sam, Michael, thank you so much. We'll be coming back to you a little bit later in the episode for the Christmas quiz. But for now, thank you very much, guys. Next, I'm joined by City forward Yannick Wilshere after scoring his first goal for the club. Yannick, welcome to Park Life. Thanks so much for joining us on this Christmas special. Firstly, I've got to ask you, I know you took a few knocks on Saturday. I think you needed a bit of ice. I think that's what Gary said. Have you managed to recover in time for Friday's game against Cambridge?
Yeah, thank you. Happy to be on air. So thank you for that. And yeah, I got some knocks, but I'll be fit for Friday. So don't worry.
Well, that's good. Let's talk a little bit about Saturday's game then. It must have felt like a bit of a relief, both for the team and you personally, grabbing the goal and a crucial point. Yeah, you know, it wasn't a win, but it was a hearty, passionate, determined performance from 10 men against a top team away from home. Did it feel a bit like a win?
I think afterwards, when you come in and you see how we battled, and especially with 10 men for, like over a half, it just feels like a win. I think it's more of a win for the morale of the team as well, because we've been getting some knocks lately, and just to come in knowing that everyone just fought, and you can just see how happy everyone was that we just held our own and just worked hard, and in the end got something. I think with a bit more luck we could have grabbed the 3 points, but yeah, it could have gone the other way as well if Will didn't make some incredible save. So I think in the end for us a point was good, and hopefully the performance and everything will help us on Friday as well and onwards. So yeah, it was nice to get that feeling after a game for once.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it was. And it must have been nice to grab the goal as well, the goal that secured the point. I suppose, you know, you might think about time. You've had a few chances over previous games, haven't quite managed to put it in the back of the net, but you did against Stevenage, and it was such a well-taken goal. A lot of thanks, I'm sure, has to go to Dion, who made a brilliant run from the right, but you were there to tap it home.
Yeah, it's as an attacker, you always want to score and give assists. As you said, I haven't been the luckiest man with the finishing at in the games I've played. So I was so relieved that I finally got my first goal for the club. And as I said, as you said, kudos go out to Dion, who I think he beat 2 men and just put it in there. I just have to run into it, and it went in luckily. I was so happy I forgot how to celebrate, so I just did some crazy yeah. And but as well, I was talking to the manager and with Nico and Perks, and they said I have to attack the box more, and so I did now, and it came off. So I think it's wise to listen to to the offense assistant more often. So so that was as I said, happy, delighted to score my first goal, and hopefully now I can score some more.
Yeah, well, let's hope so. And, you know, we've got 3 really important games still to come in 2023. But that second half came after a pretty tough first half, a half that I'm sure that you might admit we didn't play particularly well in. And, you know, the sending off of Jack Aitchison followed by the goal just a couple of minutes later. It felt, you know, I was at the game, I was in the stand. I must admit that I felt I wasn't particularly optimistic at that point. What was going through your head as a player?
Yeah, same. First off, I was when you sat on the bench, you can't impact the game as you would like. You know, I was just watching. I was like, oh, come on! And when we got the red card, we were already under pressure, and it was already going to be a difficult game. Now even more. And then just straight after we concede the goal, and I think I felt the same as everyone in the stadium who loves Exeter. But I think the managers, what they said in in the dressing room where we just have to like keep going. It's only 1-0. We get our chances if we play it right. And he said like we're just gonna tap into something where what we have, but we haven't showed it much. If you see the numbers of the people like running wise, and I think Imi kept running down up and down. I don't know how he does it. I asked for his for secret ingredient for the fuel, but it's just so good to see that the boys were fighting for each other. So it was just a big team effort, and I was just so happy to see it because that's what we need.
Give me a little bit of insight into what was going on in the dressing room after a tough first half. The side that came out for the second half looked energised, inspired. What on earth did Gary say? Because it must have worked. And then, I don't know, did Sweens have something to say as well? There must have been some pretty inspirational words said.
When I came in, it was just like, listen, we got nothing to lose. We're already 1-0 down. We're a man down. But we know it's still like a small margin. And, we haven't been working so hard the last few weeks. I think up until now, everyone has been working hard, and it's just didn't click really. And I think now you just saw the fire and the passion and the belief that we could have got something. And I think it helped that we scored really early on because that boosted everyone. Everyone kept going and even put like an extra step in there, because I know it might have been difficult if we conceded a 2-0 very early, or it would drag on very long. But as I said, everyone, even the subs who came on, Sonny, who hasn't been with us for the last few months, came in and did his job. And on training, he's working hard. And you see, everyone is just motivated, committed, and trying to do as best as he can. So it was a big team effort. So obviously Sweens would have spoken because that's what he does always.
So I mean, a brilliant point, and definitely something to build from. Stevenage, high flying, did excellently, especially down to 10 men to secure that point. Despite the tricky run of results, though, I mean, still without a win, sure. I think a lot of fans have been quite pleased with your own performances, always putting in a whole lot of work, and finally getting your goal against Stevenage. That'll only go to bolster those feelings from the fans. Technically, you're only contracted until January, right? Wycombe and then Portsmouth, are they really going to be your last games for the club, or are you looking at extending the deal?
Well, I've got an offer from the club, so we're speaking. So obviously, I'm happy the club decided to make me an offer, because I've been really enjoying it, and I'm thanking the Gaffer and the people at the club to bring me in at the first place, because there wasn't I called him and I said like, can I come in? And he said like, oh Yannick, I need you. So it's good to hear. But it's especially with the fans as well. Lately I felt like I'm playing better and better, and it's I've been getting good reception from the fans as well when I come off, or when I'm just always trying to be positive, take people on, and try to force something. I think that's what I've always been doing, and we want to excite the fans, but also in the end want to contribute with goals and assists. And I've had a couple of should have been assists with just like with a bit of bad luck, it didn't go in. So I finally contributed in the team, and hopefully many more to come. So you never know in football, but I don't think these games will be my last for the club.
Well, that is good to hear. You mentioned that you gave Gary the call, right? When you signed for the club. Talk me through all that, because you were a free agent throughout the summer, right? So, I mean, where were you training? How did you manage to get yourself up to fitness, and how did the signing process work?
Well, so I went to, I did my preseason with Oxford, and then it became clear that I wasn't in the plans of the manager, which at the time I was a very respectful way, where he just said like, listen, you're not part of my plans or the way I play, so I want to give you the freedom to look for another club. And I was like, sometimes you never really know with managers, or they say they like you and they never play you. So I was happy with the honesty. That's what you basically need. So I was I terminated my contract and I went home. And that's when the search for a new club begins, really. And I try to look back home, back in the Netherlands. because with the kids growing up, family getting older, it's maybe a possibility to go there, and it wasn't just really there of know what I wanted, and it came to a point. I think I was 3 weeks at home where I need some training on the pitch as well, because otherwise you lose it too much if I was just running around. So I knew the gaffer was here. I knew Perks as the assistant who used to be my midfielder back at Wigan. So I just thought like, what do I got to lose? So I called him. I said, Gaffer, do you need a Flying Dutchman on the left side? And he called me and he said like, Jan, I'll speak to the club now. So I think he rang Marcus, and the next day I was on a plane to lovely Devon in Exeter, and so I trained a week to see like the area, and they wanted to see the fitness and everything. And yes, that's when I signed a short-term deal till January. So it's good to have contacts. That's basically the story of how I signed for Exeter. Yeah.
Oh, amazing. I mean, what a great story. It's great to have you here. It must be said.
Thank you.
Before we move on to some of the fans' questions, I've got to ask you about some of the upcoming games. Before we get to January, we've got 3 really tough tests against sides from up and down the table. Cambridge away first, that's on Friday. Then a home fixture against Wycombe on Boxing Day. Just a few days after that, it's Portsmouth at home as well. 3 really big games. Are you feeling confident?
Yeah, it's very weird feeling confident in the situation we are now, but I'm working with the staff, with the players, and every day, and it's just been very frustrating. Besides the not winning and the losing part, but just to see that we've been training well, we've been working hard. Some of the sessions are unbelievable, and then come match day, it's just doesn't click. Or it's like when we get like a little setback, we just can't seem to find a way to get over it. So, but I've been seeing some really good performances, like on the pitch on Saturday as well. I think Shrewsbury was a big one where we were just fighting. The Porteo was terrible. It's just what's been going on for a long time. We just get one goal and we just can't seem to find a way to get through. I don't know how they do it, how they keep clean sheets against us with so much possession, so much chances, and but especially Stevenage now, it's been really good for the team. Even this weeks of training been really good. So yeah, confident. We know we're a good team. So I'm going confidently into the next games, knowing that we can get some result. We have to work hard because it's not the easiest of games we get. But I'm feeling good about it.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's great to hear 3 really big games, and of course, we're gonna need the fan support as well. And we'll move on to some of their questions now. We'll start off with some football ones.
Okay.
Harry asks how it feels to play for a club that's supporter-owned. Of course, Exeter City celebrating 20 years of trust ownership this year. What does it feel like to play for a club that's owned by its supporters?
It's weird because I've never come across a club that's supporters owned, so I didn't really know what like how it works and how it like the whole total package. And then when I came in, you see like the names on the wall in the canteen with the people who are the owners basically, and the story behind it, and how it's incredible really to save the club and then for 20 years keep it going. And it's I think after the Bolton game, and then we had like the chairman and the chief exec came in to tell us and show the video of like what the club means to them, to the owners, to the fans. And it's it was incredible to hear that they were all in the stands with their father, with their grandfather when they were young, and now their owners are in the board. And it's it's a beautiful thing to see. So it hasn't been easy, I think, watching most of the first half of the season, but I do hope we can give them some performances where they will be proud of us. Yeah, to make it extra special to be an owner or a fan of Exeter City.
Tyler asks what your favourite system is to play in. Now, we know Gary likes a defensive 3, but we played with a bit of a back 4 against Stevenage. And of course, you scored a goal in that system. So what is your favourite system to play in?
I think my ideal system will be 4-3-3. It's like the most famous system in the Netherlands. Every team used to play like this. Now times have changed and people go to a back 3. So I think my ideal would be 4-3-3, just attacking with wingers because I'm a winger. So just I think 3-5-2, how we play is good as well because you got some options and you can just like vary a little bit with the. So when I came here, he told me about the system. I was like, "What position do you see me in?" And he said, "Like, well, there are a number of," but he knows my strengths, and so he will always find a way in which position I play where he can utilize my strengths. So for me, it's no, I'm happy to be on the pitch, training, playing, and so for me it doesn't really matter as long as I play because that's the most important thing. But 4-3 is for me the favorite one. Yeah.
Yeah, just talk to me a little bit about that because you've played up front in quite a lot of the systems that we've played in so far. Actually, you've probably not played on the wing much at all. How have you found playing as the centre forward? Of course, you know, with Sam Nombe leaving at the start of the season, we've needed players to fill that position, and you've taken that on.
Yeah, it was a bit. I've played as a striker before, but that was more as like when we were sitting in and then just on the counter, just running in behind. It's difficult because you always got a lot of people around you, and the centre backs in the league are no joke. Sometimes you get like elbows or kicks, and we're such an ungrateful position, really. But I think I give something different to the team than the strikers we have, just like running into the channels. So I think it just depends on the team we're playing and if I'm needed on the wing or as a wing back or as a number 10 as a striker. But I don't. I think I don't mind. I like being up front, leading the line, and just I think it's a big strength for us as well because we have Dion who is unbelievably fast. Imi just keeps running. I can go in behind, and I think even Trev who just keeps like running into the box and it's just so it's good. I enjoy playing that.
Next question then, and Mike asks, who was your footballing idol growing up?
It's I usually get a fight with my son over this because I always say the real Ronaldo, but obviously he only knows Cristiano Ronaldo. But now the real Ronaldo R9 is the one I adore watching growing up, and I still watch videos of him before the game, and so that's the one for me.
Yeah, what a player he was. Jack asks, who's the best player you've played with, either at club level or international level?
Oof. Well,
you played for both the Netherlands youth level and Suriname as well, right?
Yeah. I when I was in the Netherlands 21s, I've played with Virgil van Dijk and Jorginho Wijnaldum.
Wow.
They were really good. When I was at Heerenveen, I played with Hakim Ziyech, who was at Chelsea just before. So I think those are the top 3 who just popped to my mind quick. But yeah, I think those are the best players I've played with. Yeah.
Yeah, not a bad list. Not a bad list.
No, they don't know.
What about those who you've played against? I know obviously you've played in South America for Suriname. I'm not sure if you played against Messi.
No, not against Messi. The best player I've played against some good players, but when I was at Middlesbrough, I've played a couple of times against Matt Doherty, who was at Wolves at the time, and I could never go past him. It was it's like the one who just sticks to in my mind. It was just the one who I never really get past. I always had opponents where I went past once or at least, but for him, I think in the 4 or 5 times couldn't get a sniff. So that's the one who keeps in my mind. But yeah, I've played against loads of good players. I think Wigan we played in the cup against Manchester United, and there was Rooney, Schweinsteiger. So that's. But the most difficult opponent for me was Matt Doherty.
Wow. I mean, yeah, interesting how
Yeah.
different players cause different other players different problems. Graham wants to know, this is looking forward a little bit. I don't know, I can't remember how old you are. You just turned 30, right? Or just under? I don't
32.
know.
I'm 32 now.
You
I'm
look a lot younger.
After Woodsy, I'm the oldest in the team. So
yeah. Well, Graham wants to know then, if you've considered entering into management when you decide to retire.
Well, I did my B license last year when I was at Oxford. And I always said I'll never set foot on a football pitch after my career. Manager is not for me. The opportunity came to do my badges at the club, so I thought I at least try it. After 4 sessions, I realized I will never be gonna come a manager, but I think like an assistant, that's more like me, because I think I'm good at like the personal touch so I would like wander around and speak to people individually of what I think they could do better. Now as a more experienced player, this is what I already do with the younger players. So I think that would suit me more than actually being the head manager, like the gaffer, because that's not for me. The stress, the long is so I've done that. So I'm not sure. Yeah, it could be, or maybe like an academy coach somewhere. It's something I will try. I signed myself up for the A license next year. So let's see what the future will hold.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting, won't it? Coach
Yannick.
We've spoken a little bit about Suriname already, but the next question is from Phoebe, aged 11. She wants to know what it's like to play for your country, Suriname, not your place of birth, but I know that you've got ancestry in Suriname, and we mentioned a bit earlier that you played for the Netherlands at youth level.
Yeah, so my father was Surinamese. I think 4 or 5 years ago, they changed the rule with the FIFA that people with double passports can switch their football nationality, basically. And the chance was there for me to play for Suriname. And it's such a beautiful experience. I've never been in Suriname, and to go there, it was really nice. But obviously the games, I think my first game was Thailand away, and there was a period where we played Jamaica away and Mexico away. So it's like, besides playing against like all the good players, as Leon Bailey or Edson Alvarez or other good players, it's just like great experience to play on international level. And a lot of players in the team I've played with or against, so it's basically a reunion every time I get called up for the national team, so that's a plus as well. So I'm really happy and honored to be a player of the Surinamese national team.
A lot of players who don't play for the country of their birth, play for a country of their heritage, I guess, say that it's a really good opportunity to connect with that side of your personality, your heritage. Do you feel like that?
Yeah, of course. My mom and dad split up when I was young, and I've never had the opportunity to go to Suriname. So for me, it was I like different cultures, and this was a bit more special because obviously it's part of me. So it was really nice to see the country and the people, and getting a bit closer to my roots. So I think a lot of players, because I was at the World Cup in the Gold Cup in the summer, and you see like loads of players from the EFL. You just see like at Saint Lucia, at Montserrat. It's just for them. I think it's for everyone the same. Just getting close to your roots, trying to see what it's like over there, and that was especially for me a big part as well. And to play some international games while I'm still playing, because I only started playing 1.5 years ago for the national team. So to be able to experience this at this age is, for me, it's incredible.
Yeah, it's amazing. All right, I promised some Christmassy questions, so we'll end on some Christmassy quick fires.
Mm-hmm.
Firstly, how much are you looking forward to your first Christmas in Devon?
Yeah, well, it's gonna be training, so it's really looking forward. No, it's always nice. My parents are coming for Christmas, and my sister with her boyfriend. So the family is all here. So we're not just with my little family. So that's nice. But yeah, my first Christmas in Exeter has been nice. I've been to the Christmas markets at the city center. It was nice. And it's just a different feeling around Christmas. You drive home and you see all the Christmas lights, and it's been good so far. And can't wait for the Boxing Day games and the games before and after. So it's good.
Oh, lovely. Bradley then wants to know your favourite Christmas song. There's a lot to choose from.
Oh, I think there's only one song for Christmas now from Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
So I think it's the first Christmas song that comes up when the Christmas period is almost starting. I think halfway to November you start to hear a little bit. But All I Want for Christmas Is You is the number one, I think.
Of course. And then Sharon asks a similar question. Your favourite Christmas movie? For me, Love Actually. What about you?
Oof, Love Actually is a good one. Oof. Christmas movie. I think the Home Alone trilogy.
Yeah.
What is it? The first three movies are the ones. But I do think they're not really Christmassy. But a Harry Potter marathon has to be on the cards every year around Christmas. So that's my kids get into it now as well. So I finally have I have a legit reason to watch them all again. But then with the whole family is movie night. So yeah.
Oh, amazing. And then the final Christmas one, Nonny wants to know what's right at the top of your Christmas list.
Oof. The obvious one is the 3 points. No, 3 points. No, on the top is just for everyone to be healthy around me in the not just my family, but just everyone connected to Exeter and around and everywhere. Really, I think that's just so important lately. And because it's for me the number one on the list, I think. What's yours, Dan?
What's at top of my Christmas list? Well, I mean, I'd really like Football Manager. It's what I've asked my mum for. Of course, I'll start off with Exeter and see how it goes.
Okay. Well, it all could come through then. 3 points for Exeter and Football Manager.
Yeah, a little bit easier to get them on Football Manager, those 3 points.
Yeah, true.
And then finally, I told you that there'd be at least one silly one. So we've got to throw one in at the end from Latoya, who's asked the question that we're all dying to hear the answer to. If you were a fish, what fish would you be?
I think I've seen this. I tried to do a little bit of homework before I came in for some questions. So there were two who picked my eye. It was this one, the fish, and the Riscol, the fussy eater one.
Oh, right. Yeah,
So I think of fish. I would love to be. It's scary in the ocean, so I would love to be the biggest one. So it's the whale, the
blue whale.
One of them where they just So I think that one. If I had to choose.
And then is Riscol a fussy eater?
Oh, the worst. I don't think he knows what vegetables are, and the chef has to prepare his food on the side. So he's a really fussy eater. Yeah. So to answer that question, is Riscol the fussy eater? Yes.
He needs to get Chef Shenko's Christmas book. Get a few
he would just pick everything out. So regard.
Amazing. Well, Yannick, you've been brilliant with your time. Thank you so much for joining us on Park Life this week. Let's hope for a few points over the Christmas period and maybe a couple more goals for you too.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's been really enjoyable, and some points and goals would be much appreciated. So let's try our hardest.
And finally, it's time for this.
This is the 2023 Exeter City Christmas Quiz.
Hello and welcome to the official Exeter City Christmas quiz of 2023. I'm your host Tom Pacillo, and today we've got two City diehards. See what I did there? Not a Christmas film, by the way. Fighting it out to see who has the most Exeter City knowledge. Sam Parks and Mikhail Shklover are two guests today. Sam, are you feeling optimistic?
Yeah, I've watched a ridiculous amount of City this season. Maybe too much given our current form, but I'm ready for this.
And Michael, you know the Grecians very well indeed, but do you know more than Sam?
I'm quite confident that Sam's definitely done something more than me, and that is going to away days. So if we talk about away days in 2023, I think this is where Sam might have an advantage over me. But I've done a lot of commentaries for Xpression FM, maybe even slightly more than Sam this year, and I've obviously been to basically every home game, so I'm still feeling quite confident.
Well, yeah, we'll have to see, Michael. We'll have to see. Let's talk through the format then. I'll ask each contestant 10 questions about Exeter City throughout the 2023 calendar year. Answer correctly and you get a point. Get it wrong and your opponent has a chance to steal the point. So real jeopardy on show here. It's an incredibly intense environment here on Park Life. Both understand?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, in that case, let's get straight into it with question number 1. And the first question is for you, Sam. City kicked off 2023 with a 1-0 victory over Oxford United. But who scored the winning goal that day?
The answer was Sam Nombe.
It was indeed Sam Nombe, a late goal from him. 79th minute it took him to score. And despite a late sort of indirect free kick, which caused some real problems for City, the 3 points were taken away from the Kassam. So that's 1 point to you, Sam, which means we move on to the next question, which is to Michael. And question number 1. City's home game against Barnsley in January was postponed due to a frozen pitch. Some fantastic Barnsley fans had travelled a long way to attend the game. So what items did the club give to the Tykes fans for free?
Good question.
What did we give to the Barnsley fans for making the trip down to Exeter, but they didn't get to watch a game? So we gave them something in exchange for free. What were those
I really
things?
should be knowing this because I was preparing for that commentary. I had my notes ready. I was on my way to the stadium, but that was cancelled. But I'm afraid I don't remember.
You're going to have to pass.
I'm going to have to pass to Sam.
It's a chance for Sam to steal, and the answer is...
It was chunk pies and pasties, wasn't it?
It was indeed pies and pasties. So that's a second point to Sam. He's on a roll here. Sorry, Michael. Didn't quite get that one. But
I knew Sam's question, though, which is annoying.
I'm sure you did. All right, moving on to Sam's second question then. And on Friday, City will travel to Cambridge United for their last game before Christmas. But when we played them back in February, we won 2-0. Name one of the goal scorers.
Did Piers Sweeney score?
Piers Sweeney did not score. So it's a chance for Michael to steal. Who scored against Cambridge United in a 2-0 victory, Michael?
In February, Kevin McDonald.
Kevin McDonald is the correct answer. Well done, Michael. That is a point taken. Well, very well indeed, it must be said. So well done, Michael. It's 2-1 on the score for Sam at the moment. And the next question for you, Michael, is in March, City won again, this time against Lincoln City. After a howler from Imps goalkeeper Carl Rushworth and defender Sean Rogan, who scored his second of 2 goals that day?
I believe it was also Sam Nombe.
It was indeed Sam Nombe. I mean, he scored a bag load of goals last season, so it wasn't a bad guess, but I think you knew that one, Michael.
I did indeed. He scored some big goals.
Very big goals indeed, and a point for you, Michael. It's 2-2. Next question then, Sam. The Grecians' biggest win of 2023 came against Accrington Stanley. What was the score?
It was 5-0.
It was 5-0. No bonus points if you can tell me the goal scorers. Can you remember any of them?
James Scott scored his first goal.
Yeah.
Dimitri Mitchell scored as well.
Yeah.
Stano scored in front of the big bank.
He did.
Nombe scored as well.
Yeah.
I think the other goal scorer was...
Michael?
Josh Key.
It was Josh Key. Very good.
He
No
scored the
points there, but
second.
very well
Some
done.
brilliant goals in that game. Notably, the Demi Mitchell goals. It was his second goal for the club that season since coming as a transfer in January, and it was a brilliant strike. And then Exeter City went on to build on that.
Indeed. Next question then for you, Michael. City followed up that 5-0 victory over Accrington with a 3-1 win over Barnsley. But who scored the opening goal?
Jay Stansfield, and what a goal it was.
It was indeed Jay Stansfield. An absolutely terrific goal.
Brilliant one. In front of the St James Road end as well.
Yeah, absolutely unbelievable. One of the goals of the season from last year. Sam, your fourth question then. City's last match of the 2022-23 season saw club legend Jay Stansfield sign off with an iconic hat-trick against which club?
Morecambe.
It was indeed Derek Adams' Morecambe, who were relegated that day. Michael, your fourth question. At the end of that game, there was a bizarre 14 minutes of added time. I still have no idea where that came from. But which Morecambe striker scored in the 104th minute? Can you remember? You were on commentary that day.
I was on commentary, and I even can picture the goal in front of the big bank. It was a brilliant strike into the top corner. But I believe I can't remember the name, and I think Sam has got a chance to steal.
Sam, can you steal the point?
I can. He's now at Burton Albion, and it is Cole Stockton.
Indeed, it is Cole Stockton. Very good, Sam. That means that it's 5-3 in favour of you, and that's a pretty good lead as things stand, but still plenty to play for. Sam, your question again then, and City's pre-season saw them tour the southwest of England, including a trip right down to the very west coast of Cornwall. Which Cornish side did the Grecians beat by 8-0?
It was Mousel.
It was indeed Mousel, Kevin Nicholson's former club, of course. Plenty of goals that day. I don't have time to name all of the goal scorers, but very well done, Sam. Question 5 then, Michael. That game saw many new arrivals make their debuts, but who was Gary Caldwell's first summer signing?
First summer signing. I'm going to have to guess because I'm afraid I don't remember. Was it... let's go Dion Rankin, but I'm pretty sure it's wrong.
It wasn't Dion Rankin, but Sam, do you know the answer?
It's Harper, isn't it, if I'm right?
It is indeed Vincent Harper. Very well done.
Whoa.
So that's 7-3. Michael, you've got a long way to come back now.
Almost a miracle.
It might be difficult, but we'll keep going regardless. And Sam, it's another question for you. So you can make it 8-3 here if you manage to steal this point. Whilst down in Cornwall, the players went on a surfing trip. But which player's signing announcement was recorded whilst riding a Cornish wave?
It was Dion Rankin.
It was Dion Rankin. Very well done. 8-3 to you, Sam. Very good. Very good. Michael, a chance for you to get a point back here then. The Grecians kicked off the 2023-24 season with a 3-0 win over Wycombe Wanderers. But which player scored less than 30 seconds after the season was underway?
And the answer to that is Jack Aitchison.
It is Jack Aitchison, and what a goal it was. Sam, I know that we were both there, and what was it? 2 goals in 5 minutes, and then James Scott scored a little bit later. We even missed a penalty in the opening 10 minutes, so could have been 4. Wasn't, but still, what a brilliant game that was.
Brilliant start to the season.
Indeed. Sam, your 7th question then, and Sam Nombe played his last game for the club against Reading, where he assisted the winning goal, which was scored by who?
Reece Cole.
It was Reece Cole. Cole the goal. 9-4 to you, Sam. Very well done. I'm sure that you would have known that, Michael.
I did indeed.
Well, you got a chance to get another point then. And your 7th question is, City followed that result up with a win away to Burton. But who scored the decisive goal at the Pirelli?
And it was Ryan Trevitt. I know Sam is a big fan of this player as well.
Yes, indeed. It was Trev. Very good goal as well. Fantastic. Well done, Michael. It is 9-5. So not as big a deficit as you might have thought. Then Sam, your 8th question. City then returned to face Cheltenham Town, who hadn't scored all season. A certain midfielder scored on his debut within 10 minutes of coming onto the pitch. Who was the goal scorer?
Caleb Watts.
It was indeed Caleb Watts, and currently out injured, but he certainly made an impact against Cheltenham. The only goal scorer in that victory. Michael, your 8th question then, and perhaps the best result of the season soon followed. A 1-0 victory over Luton Town. Dimitri Mitchell scored the magical goal that night. But who was sent off just 5 minutes later?
And it was Dimitri Mitchell himself that was sent off 5 minutes later for a second yellow card. And Demi Mitchell appeared on Park Life that week, and so did I, to speak about that game. It was my debut.
Very good. Yes, Dimitri Mitchell is correct. So it's 10-6. Sam, your penultimate question then. And in round 4 of the Carabao Cup, City faced Middlesbrough, who just about got the better of City that night, just a 3-2 defeat. Who scored both of City's goals that night?
It was Ryan Trevitt.
Indeed, it was, again, Ryan Trevitt. Very well done. And I think that pretty much confirms that Sam has won the quiz, but we will keep going regardless. And Michael, will ask your 9th question. City's most recent game saw them draw 1-1 away at Stevenage. Yannick Wilshere was the goal scorer, but who got the assist?
It was Dion Rankin.
It was Dion Rankin. Very well done.
Brilliant move on the right.
Absolutely, it certainly was. 11-7 are the scores. And now for the last question, the bonus question then. And Sam, will go to you first. Can you name all 5 of the goalkeepers who have made a competitive first team appearance in 2023? There are 5 of them. Can you name all of them?
Sinisalo.
Yep.
Gary Woods.
Yep.
Jamal Blackman.
Yes.
Did Harry Lee make an appearance? I don't think he did.
So who are the 2 others?
On loan from Reading against MK Dons. It's gone straight out of my head. Has McDonald made an appearance in goal?
Sean McDonald is one of them. So there's one more.
One.
And if you don't get it,
Jokal Anderson.
Very well done. It is indeed Jokal Anderson. So very good, very well done. That is 12-7. So very well done, Sam. It's a pretty healthy score. But Michael, we will finish off with you. Can you name all 5 of City's current international players?
Oh, let's give it a go. Will Sinisalo, number 1. Vincent Harper.
Yeah, Vincent Harper
2.
for Kenya.
Dimitri Mitchell. Does it count for Jamaica?
It does not. So unfortunately, Michael, Sam has a chance to steal. And so he's currently named Vil Sinisalo and Vincent Harper. Can you get the other 3?
Vulture.
Yep, for Suriname.
Admiral Musque.
For Zimbabwe. And one more.
And then Niskanen for Finland as well.
Indeed. That is a brilliant performance from you, Sam. 13-7 is the final score on the board. Pretty respectable, to be fair, Michael. 7 points is not bad at all. But Sam, fair enough. You are our winner of this year's 2023 Exeter City Christmas quiz. So congratulations.
Thank you very much, Tom. A pleasure.
Done.
Very well done, guys. Did you enjoy that?
That was good fun.
Good stuff. And we'll hope to have you both on in the new year. But for now, that's all we got time for. So thank you so much for joining us, both of you.
Thank you very much, Tom.
Thank you. Up the city.
That's all for today's episode of Park Life, the official Exeter City podcast. And that's all from us this year. Thanks so much to everybody who's listened to the pod this year. We've been overwhelmed by the feedback we've received since launching the series back in August. We'll be back in 2024, but from me, Tom Pacillo, and all at Exeter City Football Club, I'd like to wish you a very Merry Christmas, and I hope you have a very happy New Year. And as always, up the city.
Good cross, headed in! Will Aitson is the goal scorer in
He's been picked out. Socks down to his ankle. Picks out Stansfield.